Conversations. Before we get started today, I would like for us to let's take a moment to subscribe. So go ahead and click subscribe and then notifications, like, and click share. Okay, good. Thank you. Now that we've gotten that out the way, I'm going to talk about my guest today. She is a 2015 Master Pioneer recipient. And she's an amazing braid artist. And she does some wearable art with braid work that is absolutely amazing. So I'm going to share with you guys some of her work. So this is just, a headpiece, beautiful colors, just absolutely amazing work. Let's see, I have more. And then this is just another angle of that same style. But absolutely amazing. Come on now. Let's see, I have more. And then this is a train with the red, black, and green colors. Absolutely gorgeous as well. And this is all braiding and sewn together. And the girl that made a skirt. She got a skirt, a braid skirt. All right. I know y'all are excited to meet her because I'm excited to have her on the show. So please help me welcome Ayana Card to the show, people. Oh, welcome to the show, Ayana.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Oh,
Thank you.
thank you for coming on the show. So I always like to start the interview out with talking about our hair story, and as a pioneer in the industry, how did your hair story begin? What inspired you to um, be where you are today? And how did that all begin? How did that flower blossom?
Well, this is the weirdest story ever. Originally, I was living upstate New York as a CNA. I was working, and my birthday rolled around, and I decided to go back home, which is Brooklyn, of course, to live it up for my birthday weekend. And while I was there, my best friend at the time, her name is Jamila Collier, which is in the industry as well, had just got hired with Kemet Kinks. And they recently opened up their salon in Tribeca. And she looked at me, she said, you braid, there's one more spot open. Why don't you come and interview for the job? And I ignored her. I was like, thinking no big deal, like braid for a living? How is that possible? And then when I was going to leave on Sunday and I was packing up my bags, and she said, are you sure you don't want to go for this interview? And I said, you know what? Why not? And I stayed a couple of days and I took the interview and I got the job. And can I tell you, I didn't even go back home. I sent for my bags and stayed and started training with Kemet Kinks 2 weeks later. And that was it. And I just took off after that. And I was so grateful because the one thing about Kemet Kinks at that time was that in order to get on the floor, to do anything on anybody's head, you had to fully be trained and well versed with every technique pretty much that they offered at the salon. So I got some incredible training at that time. But I just happen to be the type of person that after a while I'm always looking for a new adventure, and I was ready to do something else. And someone told me about Deborah Hairbay, and at the time they was like, it was closer to home, and she's also in the industry. And I went and interviewed with Deborah. And I was so grateful for that because that took me to another level. When I was working with Kim and Kinks, I didn't have my own identity because Kim and Kinks is so strong that when you're a part of the team, it's hard to, everybody there is so good. So now when I got to Deborah's, and at the time she was the assistant director of Braids and Beauty magazine, and that helped me to form my identity. And she put me out there and allowed me to do some print work, and I'm grateful for that because that helped me so much. And that's how I became Ayana, and not just a braider but also a part of the team as well. But at least I had my own identity, so I was grateful for that. And then a little bit after I left Deborah, I ran into a sister that she was the um, promotions director for WBLS. And at the time, they used to do Circle of Sisters. Remember that? I don't even know if we still have it anymore, but I mean, it was awesome at the time. And she was looking to go into another career, and she asked me to partner with her to open up a salon, and I did. And we formed a salon called, um, it was at the Brownstone actually. There was a sister by the name of Retta and um, a sister by the name of Miss Jenkins, and there was two women on Fifth Avenue, and they had an idea of opening a brownstone of all Black women entrepreneurs, and each room was something different. And you had anywhere from the Harlem Charm, which they had like a Tiffany style jewelry, but a little bit more ethnic, to our place, which was a natural hair salon, to a all vegan place. And it was just so wonderful being in that place with them. And my partner was again Fennell Anderson, which now owns New Lock. At the time, we were the Natural Parlor. And so we did some things. I was able to do a lot of, showcasing and build my brand a little bit. And, then when we separated, I had to find another way to come up with, my identity still. And thank God I came up, or a friend again said, why not name it Kiki Roots? And so I went with my friend, and it was the best idea ever. And that's pretty much me now. So I've had that since 2011, slowly building my brand, and here I am, Kinky Roots. So that's my story, and that's how I got here. And it's funny because I could say it's kind of by accident. Some people say things that were meant to be is meant to be, but I had no idea I would be here all from two conversations.
Yes.
And I'm grateful.
We're grateful too. So I know that you work really closely with Deborah Hairbay, and she has National Braiders Day. Can you tell us about National Braiders Day? I know you participated in the events as well, but can you bring
Yes.
some awareness to the people about what that is?
Yes, well, I'm going to do my best because it is her baby. However, to me, I see International I Love Braid Day is a wonderful celebration to celebrate our culture, in every sense of the word. A lot of people think that it's just beauty, but confidence, seeing a group of people, a large group of people that are wearing natural hair, that are culturally strong, that care about our history. And you get a little bit of all of that at International I Love Braid Day. We have entertainment, she has education, vendors. So we also get to support Black enterprise. I mean, it's just an amazing event. And the DJ is always on. So we party while doing it and support one another. I mean, it's just an amazing event. I wouldn't miss it for the world, and more people need to come out for it. What she did with that is just awesome. It's totally awesome. It celebrates us on so many different levels. It really does.
That's good. What day is it?
It is July 29th. It is a national holiday. That is the day that it falls on. However, depending on, what days that weekend, we would, hold
Mm-hmm.
it on that particular day. But it is officially July 29th. That
Oh,
is
good.
International I Love
Okay.
Braid Day.
All right, everybody. July 29th. We're wearing our braids.
Yes, come out.
um, so also, I know that you're an advocate and you work in the community. I want to ask you about your project, Breaking Barriers.
Yes, well, breaking barriers. I moved out here to the Hudson Valley area, I would say back in 2008. And, it is great for business. There is definitely a lot of people here with natural hair that could use my services. But when I came outside of the salon, I didn't find anywhere that, I can go. I miss that in Brooklyn. Like I can go outside and go from place to place, and there are black owned businesses. I can go in a black owned bookstore, black owned restaurant, and just be able to get a lot of culture, at the same time. And there's really not much of that up here, and there I didn't see anything in my town that they were celebrating black culture every year, no festivals, none of that. And at the time, she worked for a nonprofit organization. And so together, we thought about it. Her name is Stephanie Mumford. And we came together and started holding the Black Expo. And Breaking Barriers presents the Black Expo, and our goal is to break barriers through culture, arts, entertainment, and education. And just blend it and show up here that how much that we have to offer. With our culture. See it. There's a lot of us here, and we would love to see it, and it would bring money to this town, So I was missing it. And instead of running to Brooklyn, we decided to create it. And I'm glad we've been doing it. It's always free for the community every year. We have vendors come out. We have a free face painter for the children. We have Planned Parenthood, diabetes prevention. So we try and offer something that maybe we have missing or could use some more education or information in our community for all ages.
Mm.
So that's Breaking Barriers is about. And we do that every year, the first weekend in August in Poughkeepsie, New York.
Okay, okay. Oh, that's awesome. So I know that you have done a fair amount of print work, as you spoke about. I know, like, how technology is really interesting right now, where you can just type in a style and then be like, bang, that's the style on the screen. And back in the day, for us, it was all about the magazines, right? And I worked with braids and beauty and salon profiles with editing and that kind of stuff, photo shoots, staying up all night to do hair for the photo shoot and all that kind of stuff. But that was our way of advertising. Once that book was printed, you would see it all over the world. My work has been spotted in like Ibiza, Spain from a magazine. And the magazines pictures are probably on the internet now, right? So
Yeah,
that's kind of, when you brought that up, I spent a lot of time doing that, working with Soft Sheen and doing ads, working with Johnson and doing ads, and just how the industry, and we did so much, it was so much that went into it, you know what I mean? Like bringing all the people together, the makeup and the photographers with the lights and the all night affairs and this big production to just promote, what we had, because it was so just really precious, but not like publicized, you know what I mean? So I do want you to kind of share a little bit about your experiences doing print work and doing the photo shoots and because that was really all that we had in terms of promoting our work in the industry. Because of course there was other salon or style books, but for our, natural hair and braid magazines, that was our little soup. Like we had created this little spot for ourselves. I would see it all over the world. Like have you seen your stuff that you had in the braid magazine somewhere else?
I did actually. I did. Let's see. Well, personally, I have been a reluctant. I'm one of the later ones that decided to have a Facebook page. As you know, you don't see me as active because I'm just now getting over to Instagram. So I'm still figuring out how to work that doggone page. I don't know how to work it as much. So I've been promoting this on, Facebook because it's what I know. Um, I will say that I guess we get a little bit of both worlds now, because we still have to do the photo shoots, we still have to do the makeup, we still have to do all that preparing and all that great work. I do miss the magazines. Me personally, even when it comes to terms of reading a book, I'm not an ebook reader. Like I love turning the pages, and I do miss that, right?
Mhm.
But who knew that now with everything that's going on, we don't even want anybody touching magazines in the salon, So it ended up to be a good thing on so many different levels that things have gone virtual because we see it in different places, but now the audience, the reach is beyond. It
Mhm.
is way beyond. So I think it's great because way more people see us than we even know now.
Mhm.
Like everyone is on the internet all the time. And it took
Mhm.
me a long time. And since I started promoting more on there, it has helped me tremendously. So
Mhm.
I say it's a good thing. We still get that experience, but, we reach more people. We
Mhm.
really do.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. How about you? How do you feel about it?
Well, I mean, I'm here in Hawaii for the past 16 years, so I really have not been as active in the industry because of the distance. But I miss that production, and I miss the all of the things that went into it. Even before there was um, digital pictures. It was like you had to get that in the dark room. You got to get a slide. That kind of just like the all of the stuff that went into it and the excitement of when is it gonna come out, and then once is I really or whatever the designer is gonna do. What is he gonna do? And so I always loved that part of the job for me, and I was just fortunate enough in the business to be able to have a lot of opportunities to do that. But as far as I mean, it's easier for me now because I can tell my client, text me a picture of the style you want. And it's like bam, and then I don't even have to do like a one-on-one consultation. You know what I mean? I can do a text consultation now. So, I mean, I'm moving along with the times and all of this, but it's just not as I don't know. I don't see it as put together as it used to be. It's just a nostalgic kind of thing for me, I guess, mostly because I'm using the technology as I need it. And I am grateful that it's, there because it allows me to still, multitask and do because the consultation is like it doesn't have to be scheduled. We're doing it right there, blah, blah, blah. And then we can move on to the next step. So those kinds of things. And then the awareness is different. It's kind of interesting though, because to the younger people or to anybody that just became aware, it's like these new things, and I'm like, oh, they're not new. We've been they might have a different name, but they're not new. We've been doing this for years. So show me the picture. Let me see what you're talking about. I know that. Oh, okay. So it's it's interesting how the awareness is broadened. You know what I mean? Um, but I do kind of even with that exposure, the stylist, the natural hair stylist, is the one that just kind of um, fed it to everybody and discussed it, and it was different. It's not taken care of, because you're receiving this on a screen. So it's really not taken care of the way that it was before, the internet. So it kind of takes out some of that personal connection stuff. But of course, that's part of the thing. I'm just like this. The stuff happens, and you just flow with it. But I always take the opportunity because I am now taking clients like 2 or 3 days a week. So that's my opportunity to connect. But one of the biggest things in the business that I really loved and just kept me like just constantly is that connection of Black women and men through our hair. And we're the only ones with it, and it's so intricately involved in society, and it's just kind of like we're in this little underground kind of world. So I definitely am adapting. I see the pros and the cons, and I appreciate the young people for being able to really take it to a broader level with the social media thing, because that's not even, I'm not even really there with it yet. I'm using it to my benefit, but they're there with it. Like the millennials, it's like all about it for them. They're like, oh, it's all about the social media. Post this, post that. I'm like, oh, gotta post everything. What's going on? But apparently you do. If you want to be trending and doing all of these things. So it also affirms how we need each other to kind of move with the times, and how you rely on each other to kind of move with the times. So, I'm in a neutral, flowy position. So, I want to ask you about this wearable art. And how did you really birth that baby? I showed some of the pictures of your work when I was introducing you. And it's just, to me, it's like absolutely phenomenal. You know what I mean? It's just how it's art. How did you say, oh, girl, I'm about to make a braid skirt? What brought that?
Honestly, when I was invited to International I Love Braid Day, I know Deborah Hairby from working under her for years. This woman has always demanded, I mean, like the utmost. She's always looking for your stuff to be clean and just bomb and just all that. So I was like, okay, if I'm going to go, what can I do? What can I do to make sure? That she's like, yeah, I'm glad, that I decided to ask her. And I just kept, trying to just come up with something that would say me, that would be a little bit different, but also speak to braids on another level, being that, this is what we were all out there for. And I don't know, I bought a mannequin and I sewed a little bit. So I got a little machine. So I said, let me try this. And I said, that would be really great. And I started, and I just started going longer and longer. And it was my intention to have this thing like all the way down to the end of the stage. But let me tell you, as I started working, that thing took me 2 months to make.
Oh wow.
Every night, just, I mean, I had to hand braid all of those braids, but then I had to attach it to the material at the back and
Mm,
figure out how I was going to get that on there. So, I just started. I really didn't know what it was going to be. I had an idea, and of course, naturally, it didn't turn out to be as extravagant as I wanted it to be. But I think it worked out, and it did its job.
it was
But that's
beautiful.
really, I'm not even gonna lie. I'm grateful when you have mentors that, um, just you can look up to and see how they like to do things and how we like to be represented. I wanted to go out there and make my mentors and the generation before me proud that
Hmm.
I was a master pioneer, just proud that I'm a part of this world. And I think that had a lot to do with it. And I think that is important for our community on all levels, from generation to generation. The stronger that we are, the next generation behind us has something great to look forward to, no matter what it is. Whatever it is that you're into, just, do your best and try and make it grand and represent us well, as well
Hmm.
as you can anyway. So, I would say the ones ahead of me,
Hmm.
I had a something to follow.
Right,
And so
definitely, yeah. So the head pieces, are you making those now, and are you selling them, or how are you doing that as a different kind of thing, or is it just for International Braid Day?
well, no, actually the blue and black skirt
Mm-hmm.
that actually was presented at the showcase for the Master Pioneers of the
Mm.
2019 Master Pioneers. So that was from
Mm.
that showcase.
Mm.
So no, actually, so far I just been making them from showcase to showcase, and each one represent the colors of whatever the theme was at the time.
Mm.
So far, I've had a couple people that asked about placing orders and stuff, but I haven't made it that far yet. I've just been doing it just for the love of who we are. So when I spend all that time doing it, it's normally to put it on a stage or somewhere on a platform that is going to show the world just how grand our world is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They're absolutely amazing. Um, I think that they're very valuable as they are right now. You know what I mean? It's like Picasso or
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
it really is. I just love it. I think it's absolutely amazing. I was telling a friend of mine when I was looking at it, I remember when I was in college, I had to take an elective, and the project, I took like a design art class, and the project was that we had to make something out of a fiber that was wearable, and I made this little braided tank top, and I had just
Ah,
taken like because I was doing hair then, but I took the braids that I cut off, when you cut the braid off to take it down. And then I sewed them together and made like this cute little tank top. And then it reminds me of that, but I remember when I took it to class, people were like, oh, are these braids? Is this hair? Or what is this? And I was just explaining to them that the fiber was Canecola.
wow.
But it totally reminded me of that. I just think that that skirt and that train, and it's less, everything just seems perfect. Like every single streamline is tight, it's perfect, it's beautiful. The headpiece. is amazing, and I think those kinds of things that you have will be go down in history. So yeah, I think they deserve to be on the platform, but they're very valuable, very valuable.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. That means a lot coming from you. Thank you. Well, thank Deborah
She's
for being
amazing
such a
too.
good, enforcer, boy. When you think about, it's like, again, I just, I love this industry. Um, I love just all that you ladies have set forth and, put out there. And I'm just so blessed to be a part of it. And, that
Mhm.
I would do it. That is just my joy, just to create, and I'm just grateful to
Yeah.
be here.
Yeah. I mean, I feel the same way. I'm totally grateful to be in the industry. I feel like you never really choose it. It always chooses you, because I was just like, I am not doing that. Until I was all the way in it doing it. Like, I can't stop doing this. You know what I mean? So it's a great place to be. It's just a great circle. I'm so grateful that we're able to share each other right now and just celebrate each other, because, with this whole lockdown and everything, I'm far away, but just the idea of bringing ourselves together on platforms like this, me being able to connect with you guys when I normally wouldn't have had all of these opportunities, and listening to your stories. I know all of these sisters, but I don't know the intricacies of the stories. And they're all amazing. So I'm totally grateful to be in this space with you. And I do want to thank you so much for coming on the show.
Oh,
So,
thank you so much.
so is there anything you would like to say before we depart?
Huh. Well, I definitely want to let everybody know, please be on the lookout. I plan to launch my t-shirt and accessories line hopefully in January for 2021, featuring my little lady, my logo. So if you see it, it's me, and please support it and look out for it. And, some nice little trinkets and things that we love. So I'm still kind of putting it together, and right now, that's pretty much the project that I'm working on, being that we can't go anywhere. Can't do anything. So I figure this is a great time to get that going. And, pretty much that's what I'm doing right now, working on that project and trying to get that up and running, So Kinky Roots. Look
Okay.
forward to my line of just wonderful things for us, by us.
Yes, absolutely. We're totally excited about it. And I'm going to make sure that I'm looking out for it so I can spread it out to everybody I know. So, I want to talk about the guest for next week. Next week, I'm going to have Tawana Patrick. She's from Chicago, Illinois, and she is a 2017 recipient. We received our Mass Pioneer Award in the same year. So, and she's from Chicago, my hometown. I'm excited to have her on the show next week so she can tell us how she pioneered the industry as well. And I will see you guys same time, same place next week. Don't forget to subscribe. Just go ahead and click it right now. Aloha. Love you guys.